Hello guys, I'm Zhang Xu. Nice to see you again. Today we will talk about some concept sketch experience about my daily practice. Thanks for your comments and questions. Here I quickly answer a few frequently asked questions. About my artworks, you can visit my personal website, XuZhangArt.com. Especially my daily practice and some artwork. I will update them from time to time. And welcome to explore my art world. Of course, here I will also update some tutorial and experience sharing. I hope it useful to you. And also welcome your message and look forward to communicating with you. In my gallery menu, you will find a lot of pictures in the personal practice section on the left. After that, you can find the position of the sketch in the classification. In here, I collect many sketches of different topics, including my daily sketch, conceptual design sketch, hand-drawn sketchbook, and so on. For me, the meaning of sketch is practice painting skill and accumulate design inspiration. Sometimes I choose the painting style of sketch according my interest at that time. After years of practice on different topics, I have accumulated a lot of concept idea and inspiration. Because my work focuses on the core development and art direction of video games, I often need to think from different angles and explore different art cycle styles. So sketch also helped me a lot in my works. Saying I have been writing and painting for many years. Sometimes when I open the sketchbook a few years ago, I suddenly get inspiration and find interesting idea element again. As I said in the last sharing video about tours, I like to use sketch to the brainstorm. For example, the theme of fantasy creatures, I will explore everything I can think of in my sketch. For example, the action of the fantasy creatures, reason, bones and structure, shape, visual features, and so on. When we start the design, we can work according to the basic action and bone structure. I usually design some action lines, get the visual focus on the fantasy creatures. In fact, we don't need to spend time drawing too many details. Focusing on the proportions, action line, and the shape is a good idea at this time. The method of the drawing animals can also be used other places. For example, the conceptual design of the organic forms or plants. Even in the painting and the design of the vehicles, this method and the experience are also applicable. Using simple line to think can help us greatly provide efficiency. Perspective, shape, and detail. It is a good tool for any design. For machinery and vehicle, we need to pay more attention to the perspective of the shape and the influence of the some function on the shape. For character conceptual design, sketch can also give us great help. When I design clothing, quick sketch enable me to think about design from different angles. Usually, the artistic style of clothing often has start from the functional design of clothing. Considering the impact of environment on clothing and the relationship between clothing and the environment, this idea often helped me finish my work when designing character clothes. The action of the characters is also one of the undesirable things in character design. Using simple sketch and quickly design action can give animator a clear visual direction, and the sketch can provide the artistic direction of many key actions in a very short time. In the early stage of the visual development, the image of the some character can be quickly sold to the team through sketch, and short the time of the internal discussion. In addition, quickly sketch of character image is also a good way to improve painting skills. This time I want to show a video to help you explain the design idea of the concept sketch. In the first, we talk about the action. The action line is very important for the design the character. Using simple lines to the design movements and think about change in perspective. In the first step, you don't worry about the detail. We just can focus on the line. Determine the direction through the simple action line. At this time, proportion is a key. To determine the direction and the large structure, before adding design elements, you need to have a basic framework. This part is the same as a traditional painting, so I won't explain it in deep here. You can use simple line to quickly painting. If you are just interested, you can find a lot of related painting methods on the internet. You can find many methods on the internet. After having a simple understanding of the lines and the shapes, we can try to use some quickly method to design conceptual sketch of characters. Like traditional sketch painting, we use simple lines to draw shapes. Pay more attention to the proportion and the structure of the characters, the rhythm and the deformation of actions. If you are first time to painting, don't worry about the not good, because sometimes we need to more time to practice and better. And I believe if you have more time to practice, you will painting a better. Of course, there are many ways we can help with the action practice of the sketching. Movies and the television are good reference. Lines are used to guide the extension direction of the characters' hands and feet. And in this part, we will talk about how to human concept sketch. Human head. You can imagine everything starting from the cube. Front, back, left, right, top, bottom. Every direction needs to be understood. Cube and the sphere constitute the basic structure of human head. When I draw the head, I usually use these two shapes to think, and this simple shape helps us understand some seemingly complex human structure. The structure of proportion of the human body should be paid attention to at this stage. Build some simple shape, control scale and perspective. Based on this part, start to add some detail and to design. Pay attention to the turn point of the joint, and consider where is the center of the character is. When a character carries something, we need to thinking about the weight of it. For example, a saw against the shoulder, its weight affects the character. We need to consider the relationship between characters and the props, and impact the weight on the body. After that, we can continue to extend the idea and edit detail based on the current structure. The shape of the edge is also a place to think about. Any complex painting starts with the understanding of simple shapes. Use a simple shape to thinking about the painting is a good way to practice. Sometimes when we design clothes, it's easy to fall into the trap of details. You can use a simple line to just cut the different part to think about the design. It is also a good way to design characters using combination of the simple shapes. We can still continue to edit new design and visual element to the simple box. The basic posture and the center of gravity are the problems that need to be considered at this stage. The direction of the hands and the feet directly affect the movement and body deformation, so we can use a very short time to verify the character's posture in the sketch stage. Body movements and body balance are equally important for sketches. When a person to the twisting his body, rotating his arm, needs to be considered the change of perspective. Based on this shape, edit detail and design, you can quickly get some good feelings. The direction of the center and the center line of the body is the base of the character's action sketch. The chest can use a simple circle or square to quickly establish the relationship with the head. Thinking about other structures and the detail on existing blocks, the proportional position of the facial features of the head, and the muscle structure of the body. At this stage, don't worry about imperfection. You can draw the human body in dynamics you want at will. Usually, I try to think from different angles, the front, side, or back of the characters. In the progress of the painting, we not only practiced the painting skills, and also explained the design ideas. Starting from the character and an action, think about his state from different angles, and try to make him change his posture or use different props. In the progress, you will find that we will slowly begin to enjoy the feeling of the extending your mind. Try new concepts, change props, such as adding a gun, and try to design some different place on the character. Different clothes, functional pants, and needs pants can bring new change to the character. And it is also necessary to think about the relationship and the perspective at this time. Based on the existing modules and the structures, you can also continue to edit more details and new visual elements. In the structure and some visual point, you can also add some shadow to emphasize the structure of the characters. In addition, I often use some small sketches to try different character concepts and actions. You can draw very briefly without details. Focus only on the overall proportions and the movements of the characters. The same role can be extended from different angles. Think about actions in different directions. Catch the key point of the visual features, for example, his clothes, or the purpose in his hand, and so on. Usually, clothing is a good visual point, especially the change of the character shape and the edge can be easily to recognized. Proportion is the key at this time, and we need to find the point. When we have some preliminary concepts, we can try to change its size. I mean, it's the size of the small sketch. According to the previous concept, we can design and edit details at this stage. While adding details, you can think more about the functionality of the clothing and the background of the character. Use the simple sketch to test different conceptual ideas is a good way. And don't pay attention to the details. Please pay more attention to a few key points of the sketch. I mean it's about the deep structure, about the character. When designing conceptual sketch of the characters, pay attention to the position of the hard point and the rhythm design. Hard points is very important, and usually they directly affect the shape of the character. The design of the clothing also needs to pay attention to hard points, and actually this way the hard points you can use everywhere to design and painting. For the conceptual sketch of the clothing, I usually think from large to small. First, start with the shape of the largest area, cut and combine some hard points. And for example, you can consider edit some texture design to the inside of the shape. Design different collapse in basic cells. Give yourself some different choice, which will help us find better mentors and good feelings. You can try different visual elements and using basic shape, repetition, or sorting to complete the conceptual design of the pattern. Put these designed patterns directly into the basic shape of the clothes, and this should be noted that the pattern should change with the change of the clothing structure. When we understand some basic design and painting scale, what we need to do is a lot of practice. You can try different themes and style, accumulate our own inspiration. Sometimes you can consider the impact of the basic shape on the character design. Of course, the background, occupation, and the characteristics of the role will also impact the visual presentation of the character. No matter what style or theme of character design, we can also extend our ideas and conceptual design in some similar way and complete the sketch in the short time. And think about use a line to design and use a line to join. Use simple line to build the outline of the character and connect the basic shape through the establishment and the comparison of line, which part are soft and which part is a hard point. Combine some of the techniques we mentioned, such as action line, basic shapes, hard points, and lines. I believe you can start building your own character. By the way, there may be something special about sci-fi characters. The functionality of clothing is sometimes more important than decoration of clothing. However, we can also understand this functional part with the simple shapes. For example, cube and sphere are good design elements. Use these simple basic elements to follow the character's action and the story background. We can easily grasp some visual feature points. For example, popular hard surface design or sci-fi element design with the organic shape. The combination or separation of basic visual elements and shape can help us easily obtain some new idea. In the sketch stage, try to release yourself. While brainstorming, our painting skill have also improved. In general, use simple shape and line to design and trigger conceptual and imagination. I hope this video can help to you, and thanks for watching. See you next time.